time this evening because I feel like we could have gone for another hour or so with such interesting discussion going on. I'd like to thank all of our panellists for coming along and being involved this evening. I'm sure... I think that there's some really fantastic energy in the room, and we can go away from this and solve the problems of the world, I think. But, you know, I think those points to keep in mind all the time is that art is such a fantastic vehicle for social change. And I'm going to hand over to Margherita Coppolino, who is the chair of the Board of Arts Access Victoria, to officially close the forum. Take it away, Margherita.
Thank you very much, Stella. I know we've definitely run over time, so I'm not going to say a lot, but there are a number of people that have to be thanked for this magnificent event tonight. So first of all, I'd like to thank the Minister, who had to leave early, unfortunately, for the money that she actually gave Arts Access Victoria for the artwork project. You'll be hearing more about that very shortly. Not tonight, of course. Of course, I'd like to thank the most wonderful, extraordinary host, Sally Young, so you can put your hands together for that. And I know Salah's already thanked the panel, but once again, can you put your hands together now for Emma, Tony, Penny, Catherine, Ross and Jade? Of course, the fabulous performance that you've seen earlier on tonight and throughout the evening, which was Jodie, Rhoda and Atash. So put your hands together for them as well. Of course, we kind of not put this particular event on if it hadn't been for the Arts Centre, for their generosity support for this event. The staff of the Arts Centre, I know there are a number of people still in the room. Thank you very much for being here and supporting us and enabling us to put this event on tonight. And of course, the interpreters, capturists, auto-describers. Waywarners, ushers. Filming, of course, Atash, and photographic is Paul Dunn, who's been roaming around with those huge cameras. And of course, the Arts Access Victoria and volunteer staff who have worked very hard to put this event together. It's been a fabulous success, I'm sure you'll agree with me. And last but not least, of course, you. We wouldn't be here if it wasn't for you. We did notice that a few people still had questions. We would encourage you to actually email your questions to Arts Access Victoria. We will make sure that those questions get forwarded on to the relevant people based on the questions. But before I wrap up tonight, there's one thing I'd like to say. Just recently, I actually was invited to be part of the Head-On exhibition in Sydney as a photographer. I last year was fortunate enough to receive a grant from Arts Access Victoria to be mentored by a professional photographer, quite well known, who did the exhibition called Intimate Encounters. Some of you may know of her. She sent some of my photography work off to a couple of exhibitions, one being Head-On in Sydney. And Sydney, they actually invited me to be one of the photographers in the exhibition this year. I was quite humbled, got to Sydney, and then went on a steep learning curve of what it was like to be a photographer in a mainstream photo exhibition. Some of the barriers that I came across was being put in a particular art gallery that was not accessible. Mm-hmm. So most of my actual leading up to the actual exhibition was educating the gallery itself about what accessibility needed to happen. Now, I can actually say that my photo exhibition was of short-statured people. When I came to the day of actually hanging my work, a number of people had very strong views about what level my work needed to be hung. Literally to tell you, they actually thought that it needed to be hung my height. So then when people were looking at my work, they actually had to get on their knees to view my work. I said that was not the purpose of my exhibition. So as you could probably gather, the shoe was on the other foot. Anyway, in the midst of all that, when I was asked after the exhibition, what were my learnings about being involved in a mainstream photo exhibition? I didn't know exactly what to say, but in a diplomatic way I said, these are the number of things that I would suggest that Head-On or other exhibitions would actually need to do. First of all, make sure you have accessible guidelines for galleries for hanging work. Make sure that all galleries, irrespective of where they are accessible for all people. And thirdly, make sure that when you are giving grants or you are involving people, because they didn't know that I was personally short-statured until the last minute, that you are encouraging all people to put their work forward. And last but not least, when I spoke to some of the funding bodies of that particular exhibition, I said you need to put in your procurements that accessibility is a must, not a given. So having just said that, everyone, it's been a great night, great conversation. There's much more debate and our conversation needs to happen. So this is just the beginning. You as a sector have come here tonight and raised some amazing comments and questions. So we would like you to collaborate, come up with ideas, talk to us at Arts Access Victoria about how we can move forward and have more of these particular forums and move on beyond tolerance. Because what I see here is not tolerance, it's people actually doing it and doing a good job. I also need to say that next year is Arts Access Victoria's 40th anniversary. Not bad. So this would be a really good time to look back over where we've come. And I would like to say that we've moved beyond tolerance and we've moved together as a sector and taken action, rejecting tokenism in favour of genuine and meaningful engagement. So ladies and gentlemen, thank you very much for coming. We look forward to moving forward amongst tolerance with you. Thank you very much.